On today's Chasing the Game, we have St. John's head coach Joe Horn. We talk about his career, his coaching philosophy, and how he plans to get the Titans back to being one of the top teams in Northwest Ohio. Chasing the Game starts right now. Welcome into Chasing the Game. Joe Horn is here. Joe, thank you so much for coming on, doing the show. Just how's life? How are things lately, man?
Oh, no, thanks for having me, Chase. Life's been great. It's been a crazy whirlwind the last 6 months, but it's been a lot of fun.
I was literally going to ask you, like, to the word, has the last 8 months been a whirlwind for you since you took the job for St. John's back in December?
Yes, no, and it hasn't stopped just from the day we started there. It's been one thing after another, just trying to adjust for myself and also to get things kind of going the way I want it to be. And it felt like I had a lot of time. And now we're scrimmage here this coming week, and we're playing here in just a couple weeks.
What were the priorities, or the priority? Maybe there was one, maybe there were a bunch that you wanted to accomplish when you got in right away. What was it at St. John's that you wanted to get done right away?
Well, we wanted to get everyone together and get them in the weight room as best we could. And we have a lot of guys at St. John's that play multiple sports and definitely fully support that. And but we started with 6:30 in the morning lifts, and we had a tremendous turnout there for the first couple months. And then when the spring sports started to happen, we lost a little bit of guys, but they also were working and doing their own sports. So it was really good to get back together in June. But that was kind of the main thing that we started on was, hey, we want to get after it in the weight room, kind of build up our bodies, get that strength going, but also give us an opportunity to kind of build our culture and kind of install those pieces of effort and togetherness that we've been asking them throughout the year.
Did you feel like you needed to change a lot about the culture, or was there already a pretty strong culture there? Like, did you feel like there was a lot that needed to change in that regard?
I think I was really focused on how I want to do it. I'm not really sure how it was done before, and the kids have been fantastic in accepting everything that we've been asking them to do. There hasn't been any pushback, really, to be honest, at all. It's been really refreshing and exciting how quickly they've adjusted. And I know there's been a lot of differences, but I definitely know that there's a certain way that I wanted to see our program run. I think there's a certain way the way football needs to be played, and we've been trying to push our guys in that direction. And it's not going to happen overnight, and I have to keep telling myself I want to be perfect right now, but you can definitely see the strides that we're heading in the right direction.
What is the talent level like at St. John's? Because people always talk about, Central Catholic, and even St. Francis now gets all the attention, with all the talented guys. They'll send people off to college. What do you sort of make of the guys you have at St. John's and their talent ability?
No, our talent is, I think, one of the reasons I was really excited about taking this job is because St. John's has always had a lot of talent, and I think that there's no different right now. Obviously, the record hasn't been where we want it to be, and there's some, pieces here and there that we wish we had, more of, but I don't think talent is really our issue. I think just being able to play with tremendous effort, having a lot of physicality and how we play on defense, those kind of pieces I think we're missing the last couple of years, and those are things that we're trying to really instill into our guys. But once we get the culture that we want to have put in there, I think we have the ability to compete with whoever we play against. But like I said, it's not going to happen overnight. There's definitely a lot of learning that needs to be done, and we've learned a lot already, but there's still a long way to go.
Yeah, you mentioned it. You guys are going up against some really, really talented teams. Central Catholic, St. Francis, to name a few. You guys play in a really tough conference, Detroit Catholic League. What's that going to be like, you guys going up against the, Warren De La Salle, Brother Rice, Detroit Catholic Central, like all these really talented teams up in the Detroit area? Yeah,
we think there's probably an easier path to win the state championship than it is to win our conference, but the goal is still the same. That's what we want to do, and we're not going to be focused on. And it's easy to say, like, hey, this is not, we're not going to focus on the opponent, but that's truly, there's so much we're trying to change with what, who we are as a football team, and the new offense, new defense, new coaches. We're really not concerned about who we're playing on Friday night. We know that we got to do what we do. No matter who we play, we're probably going to be the underdog. So it really comes down to we got to be able to play in our best game every Friday night. So we're focused on that right now, and so the guys have really embraced it. We've had the first couple of days of tackling and hitting, have really showed us a lot of who we are, and I'm excited to see these guys go out there and compete on Fridays.
What is the offensive and defensive identity? I know you're an offensive guy, so I'll start with the offense. What is sort of the identity of this team?
Well, and that's, like I said, we just started hitting, so we're starting to still learn a lot about our guys. We learned a lot throughout the summer, which was really exciting, did some 7-on-7s and those things, but you really, truly don't get to find out some big key identity pieces of your personnel until those pads strap up. So, my big thing is that, I want my offense to be able to mold to our talent and whatever, put our guys in the best position. Like I said, we have a lot of guys who have talent. That's not an issue. So just finding the best ways to put those guys in space, get them the ball, and make sure that, we're giving those guys the right opportunities to showcase their best. Because like I said, we have those guys. We just got to kind of build that offense around him. We're still in the process of doing that. What we did at Anthony Wayne, running kind of a shotgun spread offense, but still being able to run with our quarterback, that really fit the system, or really fit what Kenny did well, what our running backs, what our receivers did well. There's going to be definitely a different take of that because we have a little bit different personnel here at St. John's.
I'm so glad you brought up Anthony Wayne because that was a job that you were the play caller there for the last 2 years. Just what was that like being a part of an offense that was obviously very, very talented? I think you guys averaged like 39 points a game last year. Just what was that like being a part of a really talented team, a really talented program, and calling plays for that offense?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Brungard has done such a good job there. Before I got there, the offense was really, a lot of those pieces were already in place. I was just able to put my own spin on it and add my own pieces to it. And it was a lot of fun because I brought, I thought, a lot of different things that they hadn't done there before, but we didn't have to teach any of the base stuff. That's kind of the biggest difference is right now there's a lot of change from what our guys are learning as an offense. So we're starting from square one, and the growth, the complexity of the offense is not what it was, and how as quick of a turnaround it was as what it was when I was with Coach Brungard there. But he did such a good job kind of leading up to that it was really easy to kind of step in and add my own spin to it.
How did you get to Anthony Wayne? Because you were coaching in college before. How did you get to Anthony Wayne? You're like, I want to be the offensive coordinator for you guys.
Yeah, I actually my first job out of college, when I was done playing pro ball, my wife, she actually taught at Perrysburg Junior High. So I just walked up one day to Coach Kriegel in the middle of I think they're just practicing out there on the field. I was like, hey, I'd like to volunteer. Can I volunteer? And Coach Kriegel was kind enough. He was a little suspicious at first, like, who's this random kid who wants to help out? And but they were gracious enough to let me volunteer. And Andy Brungard was on the staff at that time, and I got to build a relationship with him. And we always joked throughout the college days when I was be out there recruiting, like, hey, it'd be fun to coach together someday. And it was really cool to be able to make that dream come true.
Yeah, and so what was it like in those meeting rooms where you guys are going over like how you want to handle any given opponent in that week, and you bring these ideas to the table. You're like, I think we should do this and that. And Brungard, for the first 7 years that he was the head coach at Anthony Wayne, he was calling the plays. He must have had a lot of trust in you, right?
No, he did, and I know it was really hard for him because it's hard anytime. I mean, it's his baby, right? And I'm just kind of some random dude showing up. And obviously we had a relationship, but he's had a lot of success doing it his way. And to have the trust and really just the trust in me to give me the full keys to it. And because I was pretty adamant, like, hey, I would like to have a lot of say in what we're doing to end up doing this. And he let me do it. And I mean, it was the amount of growth I got from that opportunity that he gave me was tremendous. And it's allowed me to have the opportunity that I have now here at St. John's.
Yeah, I mean, clearly it worked for you guys. I mean, you won back-to-back NLL titles. Like I said, averaged 39 points a game or something. Just incredible. You guys have Anthony Wayne week 2. You guys go back to White House. What's that going to be like for you? Is there a little extra juice for that week? I
mean, it's going to be a lot of pressure for me on myself because I know it's a really important game for our football program. And I'm sure it is for them as well. But it's, to put any more extra spin on it than playing Central Catholic, playing, Orchard Lake St. Mary's, playing Detroit Central Catholic. I mean, every game that we're playing this year has got a lot of pressure. Even our first game, I mean, this is my first time out there on the field, playing. We're going against Scott High School. It's going to be, a lot of intensity, a whole new experience for me being out of the box, being on the field, the operations we have with our coaching staff. I think everything that we're doing every Friday, I know it's such a cliche thing to say, and I'm trying to get out of this question, but it's true. Like each week is going to bring its own battles and its own challenges for us, and we're really excited for all of them.
Yeah, you guys, like I said, you're getting ready for this season. I want to take it back to Ashland. You were a two-sport athlete there, right? You were football and track. What was that like being a two-sport athlete at a D2 college like that?
Yeah, no, it was awesome. I wouldn't have had it any other way. I did a bunch of sports in high school. I played basketball, golf, all those things along with track and football. And so, I couldn't imagine not competing constantly throughout my college career, and to be able to do that indoor track as well. So kind of really every Saturday except for a couple in the summer. I had some sort of sporting event, which was a lot of fun. But I think that's helped me really connect with a lot of our guys at St. John's, because we have a strong track program there. We got a lot of guys that have had a lot of success on the track that are playing football with us right now. And so I think there's been a little bit of extra connection, a little extra trust that I've had those experiences, being able to do both. And I think that's helped us kind of get off on the right foot a little bit quicker.
Yeah, you mentioned it earlier that you'd played pro ball a little bit. You were signed as an undrafted free agent by the Colts, right? Tell me that story. How did that happen?
Yeah, it was during the lockout year, so there was a little bit of waiting involved with that. But once the lockout ended back 2011 in July, I got the call out there. Got them and the Bengals offered opportunities to me, and I decided I wanted to go to Indianapolis. It was a dream come true. It was so much fun. I got to be with Peyton Manning was there, Pat McAfee, Vinatieri. I mean, all the greats, Reggie Wayne, Dallas Clark, and just to be around those guys and see them, compete at that level, see how it's done at that level, and see how much talent there is at that level. Like I said, it was something that kind of propelled me into the rest of my career as a coach and my love for football.
Did you, I don't know, was Peyton injured by that point? Did you catch any passes from him?
Yeah, he lightly tossed it. It was during his whole pinched nerve thing, and there was a bunch of, we'd actually do practice in a gym before we go out, so no one could kind of see, how badly, injured he was at the time. So, no, it was definitely a really cool experience, and to be around those guys. Dan Orlovsky was the guy I caught the passes from the most. I know he's on TV too, so it was a great experience.
Yeah, and then you go to the college ranks. You play after playing pro ball for a little bit. You go to Tiffin, right? First.
I did a GA at Ashland University.
Okay,
actually, right? Yeah. So went back to my alma mater and did finish my graduate school there, and also was a GA there for 2 years, and then got my first full-time gig there at Tiffin University.
So what was that like going, to the other side where you're not on the field playing anymore, you're on the sidelines coaching? What was that transition like for you?
It was, for me, I learned so much in the short time I got playing pro football. I was so excited to share that, at my alma mater with a couple of the guys I was coaching were guys I had played with were freshmen there. So, that was a lot of fun. And for me, the reason why I love coaching, I just really love being around guys who want to compete. I love competition. I wish I could do it myself, but to be able to be around guys who are striving to be their very best and to be a part of that with them, that's my true passion. And obviously at St. John's, we're surrounded by, I got 120 kids that are trying to do their very best at a bunch of different things. So that excellence is something that I crave to be around every single day.
Yeah. Is that something that you've always taken with you from the time you were a GA to now as a head coach? Are there things that you remember from those early seasons, learning to be a coach that you still take with you now that you kind of preach, as a head coach?
Yeah. It's, for me, a lot of the pieces that, because I went to a bunch of different places throughout my career. I was at Ashland, I was at Tiffin, Colgate University, East Tennessee State. Throughout all those stops, there's a lot of pieces that I love. There's a lot of pieces that, that were really tough to be a part of. And so I think for me, there's a lot of those things like, hey, I don't want to make sure I don't do that, or I make sure I don't treat my staff this way or treat my players this way. And then there's a lot of examples of success that I've tried to pick from all the coaches that I got to be around. And so I think, my coaching style is kind of just a hodgepodge, little collection of all those good and bad things that I experienced throughout that time. And I hope it's given me the opportunity to make this thing work out quickly.
Yeah. We talked before, you're from Wesfield, Goshen, right? That's where you played your senior year of football.
Yep.
What was that like playing? Because Wesfield, Goshen, it's a tiny little town, a tiny little school. What was that like playing? I think it was like D6 at the time. They're D7 now. What was that like being a part of so many different sports, but just football, especially playing small town football?
Yeah, it's Division 7. If they had Division 7 when I played it, it would have been Division 7 then too. Real small school, but it's where my whole family's been from. It's where my dad grew up. My grandparents grew up there. So my senior year, we actually ended up moving back home. My whole family still lives there, brothers, sisters, all that. So being able to go back and be a part of, my dad coached there prior when I was younger. And I was a water boy for him. So kind of being able to go back and see it full circle, be back there on the field in front of my grandparents, my family. It it was an awesome experience to be able to play in front of them every single day and have that kind of that community pride.
Yeah, and doing the research, I looked at, kind of Waynesfield Goshen's like history of success in sports, football, track, and you guys have so many state championships and individual events in track, and I see the Horn name associated with it. You've got like cousins who are great athletes, you got, brothers and sisters who are great athletes. Kind of talk about that, the history of like the Horn family and your guys' success on the track, just on the track itself.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, I mean, probably could go all the way back to my great-grandpa Joe, who played with Paul Brown.
Yeah, that too. So when I was doing the research for it, I mean, granted, I was looking at Wikipedia, and you never know how trustworthy that can be. I saw, a 1929 state discus championship from a Joe Horn, and I was like, there's no way that this is like, another Horn from like 100 years ago also winning a state championship. Yeah, talk about that.
Yeah, so great-grandpa Joe played at O-line at Miami, and he was, I believe, a guard right next to Paul Brown. Paul Brown was a tackle.
Oh my gosh.
So they were really good friends, and actually was invited to be the first O-line coach with the Cleveland Browns. With Paul Brown, but my grandma. Back at the time, it was a prestigious thing. I don't even know. It wasn't even, the NFL didn't exist. It was some guy having a random football team. I was like, hey, come help out. So great grandma shut that down, and but he ended up being a teacher and head football coach out there in Youngstown for many, many years. And so coaching my family has been a thing that's started from almost the beginnings of football. And my grandpa Joe, which was again my great grandpa's son, he was a longtime high school football coach, and so was my father. And I'm the third Joe of that lineage. So. It's kind of always been something that's, I wouldn't say expected, it's just something I always knew I was going to do, is be a high school football coach, and to get my first chance at a place as prestigious as St. John's is like I said, it's a dream come true for me and my family.
Well, I was going to ask, was it always a goal to be a head coach, or you just knew you wanted to be involved some way? Like you were like made up your mind at some point, I'm going to be the head coach of a program? I
don't think I think when I was younger, yes. When I was in the college ranks coaching, I really enjoyed coaching the receivers. I really enjoyed, being a part of an offense and being offensive coordinator. And there's so much difference between running a college football program, very little involved anymore with actual football these days. So, and then when I was at Anthony Wayne, really never had any intention to leave there. Just kind of an opportunity, and what the best fit for my family happened when the job came open. I kind of threw my name in there, and it all kind of worked out the way it did. And not something I ever thought at this point in my career. A couple of years ago, I would never thought that this was going to be happening, and I'm really glad it did.
Did you think when you threw your hat in the ring for the St. John's job that you were going to get that, or did you think, they'll have me for an interview, but there's so many people who are going to apply for that job that there's no way they'll take me? I mean,
I always knew there was a lot of interest. I don't think I ever thought about if I wasn't going to get it. I usually put my mind to something, I'd have a really good shot at it, and really, I gave everything I had to winning that job and having success in the interview, and just presenting who I was. And if it wasn't the right fit, if they didn't think I was the right fit for them, then I've been okay with it, because different programs have different goals for their football programs. But going through the interview process at St. John's, you really got to see the passion of the new president there, Carl Ertl, and the direction that they want to take this football program. Like you said, restore it back to kind of its former glory, if you will. They're giving me the resources, they give me the support to be able to do that, and that's how I knew it was like, hey, this is a place that would be a really good fit for me and my family.
Did you rely a lot on the history of St. John's and like they've had guys go to the NFL, Jack Newhart, Brogan Roback, guys like that? Did you kind of refer to that a lot when talking about the success of the program? Like, hey, we've had guys go on to the top ranks of professional football. This is the sort of standard that we want to replicate.
Yeah, and those. Whether you end up in the NFL or not, we still can win a lot of football games without NFL-type players. And we just want guys who are willing to work at the level that those guys were working at. Tyson Anderson playing corner for the Bengals, Jack Newhart, like you mentioned, and many, many more. Those guys put in a ton of work. Whether that stuff worked out for them at the end, was kind of just a byproduct of that work. But our success as a football team, our guys that we have right now, we can win a lot of football games, and they can have a lot of team success by putting in the work the right way and playing the game the right way.
Yeah, this question's a little offbeat, but when you were running track, and again, state championship in 100 meter, 200 meter, 400 meter, what was your time? How fast were you going back then?
I won the 100, I think. It was 10.7 or so, and then a 21 something. The 200, 400 was like 47. I ran a lot faster in college, I'll tell you that. So,
I was going to say, do you get anywhere close to that time now? Do you still
No, I ruptured my Achilles 2 years ago. And
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's been slow moving ever since. So,
Oh, wow.
Which is okay. Which is okay. I need to slow it down a little bit.
All right, so week one, you guys have Scott. What can people expect when you guys run out there on the field week one, first Friday night?
Yeah, you expect the guys that are going to be playing for each other, playing with a lot of heart, a lot of passion. Guys are going to give great effort and great energy, and we're expecting to have a lot of physicality out there. That's really, I think, the biggest growth opportunity for us right now is finding 11, 12, 22, 40 guys who want to go hit every single play, and we're getting there. We're getting there. Like I said, we had a great start this weekend, and we're going to keep building on that.
Oh, Joe, I know there's a lot of people in the St. John's community and in the Northwest Ohio sports community who are looking forward to that. So, Joe, thank you so much for the time. Appreciate it so much. This has been awesome. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of Chasing the Game. Be sure to check out all of our episodes on the WTOL 11 Plus app. You can also watch and listen to us on YouTube and on Spotify. And we'll see you guys next time.